Welcome to the regular meeting of the Putnam County Legislature, Tuesday, October 6, 2021. Please stand for the pledge and remain standing for the legislative prayer. Legislator O'Bannon, can you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Legislator Nazarino, please lead us in the legislative prayer.
Bless our decisions. We gather to make decisions for our community. May we use our best skills and judgment, keeping ourselves impartial and neutral as we consider the merits and pitfalls of each matter that is placed before us, and always act in accordance with what is best for our community and our fellow citizens.
Thank you. Roll call.
District 1, Legislator Montgomery.
Present.
District 2, Legislator Woolman. District 4, Legislator Mascherino.
Present.
District 5, Legislator Albano.
Present.
District 6, Legislator Yonke.
Present.
District 7, Legislator Castellano.
Present.
District 8, Legislator Sage.
Present.
District 9, Legislator Sullivan. District 3, Chairwoman Edmondson.
Present. Moving on to the proclamations this evening, we have several proclamations. We'll call on Legislator Sage for the first one, which is Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
Hi, are you ready?
Yes.
Elaine McNamara, she's a proclamation. So, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Whereas domestic violence is an epidemic affecting individuals in every community, including Putnam County, regardless of age, economic status, sexual orientation, gender, race, religion, or nationality. And 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men are victims of some form of physical violence by an intimate partner. And the COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated risk factors for gender-based violence such as unemployment, financial strain, substance abuse, isolation, depression, anxiety, and general stress. Mounting evidence of global strain and instances of partner abuse and child abuse since the start of the pandemic. And whereas the pandemic further isolates survivors and hinders victims from seeking assistance, particularly vulnerable youth who are victims of human trafficking. And in 2020, the Putnam Northern Westchester Women's Resource Center 24-hour hotline received 826 calls from victims. And in 2019, the Women's Resource Center, the District Attorney's Office, the Probation Department, and the Sheriff's Department joined forces to create the Putnam County Domestic and Sexual Violence Task Force. And this task force seeks to educate and raise awareness of domestic and sexual violence. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Putnam County Executive Mayor Ellen O'Dell, the Putnam County Legislature, to hereby proclaim October 21st as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And the topic is tonight, Elaine McNamara from Probation. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Sure.
My name is Officer McNamara, and I'm an officer at the Probation Department. So thank you to the legislature for passing this proclamation. The reason I'm here is because I am the officer that has the domestic violence caseload for Putnam County. It's a specialized caseload, and the reason it's specialized is we work with a lot of victims. So these things are happening in our community. It's sort of a silent epidemic because it's embarrassing for a lot of people. So I know that victims see this and they appreciate it, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Call on Legislator Albano for the National Cornell Friends Extension Week and 4-H Fair.
put experience and research knowledge to work. The Cornell Cooperative Extension System is a veritable partnership between federal, state, and county governments, land-grant university research and resources, and local staff, volunteers, and youth. And whereas Cornell Cooperative Extension of Putnam County's children, youth, and family well-being education programs focus on preparing youth to function as productive and responsible adults, strengthening parenting skills and enabling residents to improve their families' economic and social well-being. And whereas Putnam County Extension 4-H Youth Development Program invests in the county's future by developing valuable life skills as communication, decision-making, leadership, and citizenship among our youth. And whereas 4-H Youth Development Program provides meaningful experiences such as 4-H clubs, school programs, special interest programs, community service opportunities, and annual Putnam County 4-H Fair. Unfortunately, this year's Putnam County 4-H Fair was unable to be held due to COVID-19, and that's going to really be missed. Cornell Cooperative Extension of Putnam County provides a valuable contribution to families, schools, businesses, and the general well-being of Putnam County. Therefore, be it resolved that the Putnam County Executive and Putnam County Legislative hereby designates the week of October 3 through 9, 2021 as Cornell Cooperative Extension Week and National 4-H Week in Putnam County. I just want to say thank you for all the beautiful work you do. Cornell Cooperative is such a partnership in this community that we couldn't do it without you, and we really appreciate everything you do. And you look like very responsible young people, and I know you do a lot of great things. And we thank you. You do a great job.
We appreciate the support that Putnam County provides for non-cooperative extension, and certainly there's nothing that's more satisfying than working collectively for the youth of tomorrow. So thank you very much.
It's great stuff. Thank you very much. Smile. You don't know if you're smiling for sure.
Thank you.
I knew you were smiling.
Excuse me, Chair?
Yes.
The executive director for the West Resource Center came a few minutes late. I'm wondering if you would like to come up and say a few words about Domestic Violence Awareness Month and talk a little bit about
Thank you.
month.
Just put the lady in first. Thank you. Sorry to be late. I really want to thank you all for identifying today as for today as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Domestic violence has really been a scourge of our community forever, and I wish I could say that it's over. And every year, having the opportunity to speak to you all and to speak to the county in general about this other pandemic that we're dealing with means so much to us. And I really wanted to first apologize for being late. So not used to traveling anymore. And I really wanted to be here to thank you in person for taking on this proclamation, ensuring that it happened. And one day I hope not having a need to speak to you when we have ended violence against women, children, and men in our community and in our world. Thank you again.
Now call on Legislative Nasarino to present the proclamation for National Fire Prevention.
Thank you. Whereas National Fire Prevention Week will be October 3rd through 9th, 2021, during which attention will be focused on promoting fire safety and prevention. In 2019, there were 1,290,500 reported fires in the United States, 3,704 deaths caused by fires, and 16,000 injuries. These fires resulted in an estimated $14.8 billion in property damage. Whereas the National Fire Protection Association has announced this year's fire prevention week campaign as Learn the Sounds of Fire Safety. From beeps to chirps, this year's campaign works better to educate the public about the sounds smoke alarms make, what those sounds mean, and how to respond to them. Whereas people tend to remove smoke alarm batteries or dismantle alarms altogether when alarms begin to chirp as a result of low batteries or the alarm no longer working properly, or when experiencing nuisance alarms. And whereas when a smoke alarm or carbon monoxide alarm sounds, respond immediately by exiting the home as soon as possible. If your alarm begins to chirp, it may mean that the batteries are running low and need to be replaced. If the alarm continues to chirp after the batteries are replaced or the alarm is more than 10 years old, it is time to replace the alarm. Test smoke and CO alarms monthly. Press the test button to make sure the alarm is working. If there is someone in your household who is deaf or hard of hearing, install a bed shaker or strobe light alarms which will alert that person to fire. Know the difference between the sound of smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarm. 3 beeps for smoke alarms and 4 beeps for carbon monoxide alarms. Whereas Putnam County is served by dedicated volunteer fire departments whose service we greatly appreciate. In 2019, across the nation, there were 62 firefighter deaths and 23,825 firefighter injuries. Taking time to learn the sounds that smoke alarms make and how to respond to them will help save lives. Now, therefore, be resolved that the Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature do hereby proclaim the week of October 3rd through 9th as National Prevention Week in the County of Putnam, and remind the citizens to learn about the sounds that smoke alarms make and what those sounds mean, and to visit their local fire departments and prevention programs.
Thank you. And those are great tips. And as Legislator Nasarino said, learn the sounds of the smoke detector. Learn the sounds of fire safety. Ironically, how NFPA came up with the slogan was during COVID, there was a lot of, obviously, a lot of web meetings, and everyone's over computers, and they realized listening to chirping in the background, NFPA realized how much of a problem it is that everyone may have a smoke detector, but they're not maintaining them, and there's chirping in the background with low battery chirps, and they don't know the difference between a carbon monoxide alarm, dead battery, or smoke detector battery. So, unfortunately, we still have to stand for every year. I appreciate you recognizing Fire Prevention Week as the legislature always does every year. We still need to get that message out, though. Everyone still needs a smoke detector in their homes. We're still finding many residents without smoke detectors throughout Putnam County. The Red Cross is launching we are launching the Red Cross fire safety program once again with the free smoke detectors for residents. So you'll be hearing more about that this month. And of course, let's thank our volunteers, our firefighters and EMTs, our first responders. This is a great week to recognize all the work they've done throughout the year, and we can't thank them enough. And visit an open house. There's many going on this week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I personally want to thank all the volunteers throughout the fire departments in Putnam County. And I've had the privilege to sit on the Fire and EMS Advisory Board this year, and I have an appreciated awareness, heightened awareness, and appreciation for all that they do. They are truly the essence of a public servant, and we really appreciate their efforts and their expertise. So thank you.
And we appreciate you being there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next proclamation will be presented by Legislator Yonke, a National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week.
National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week. Whereas every Putnam County resident deserves to grow up in a healthy, safe environment free from harmful effects of lead, and whereas a major source of lead exposure is the dust from deteriorating lead-based paint or renovations to houses or child care facilities built before 1978, and lead poisoning caused by renovations can be prevented by using EPA-certified contractors who follow the renovation, repair, and painting rule. And whereas 73% of lead poisoning cases have lead-based paint as a primary or contributing source, and whereas, although individuals with lead poisoning often exhibit no symptoms, lead interferes with normal brain development and is associated with permanently reduced IQ, learning disabilities, behavioral disorders, and has been cited as an indicator of decreased lifelong learning potential. Whereas October 20th to 30th, 2021 is National Lead Poisoning Prevention Week and is an opportunity for Putnam County to provide education and raise awareness about lead poisoning prevention measures. Now therefore be it resolved that Putnam County Executive Mary Ellen Odell and the Putnam County Legislature do hereby proclaim October 24th through the 30th, 2021 as Lead Poisoning Prevention Week in Putnam County and invite all citizens to duly note this occasion. So I'd like to present this. Brian, Sean.
Thank you. I'd like to simply say on behalf of Dr. Neshua, who couldn't be here this evening, we want to thank the county executive and of course the legislature for recognizing Lead Poison Prevention Week. This is something that we appreciate your support on, and I know, Brian, you want to say a word?
I just want to say this program is very important to us because it does directly help kids and keep them from having long-term effects due to lead poisoning. And we thank you for all your support and bringing awareness to this program.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks,
Appreciate it. Thank you for everyone's
Thank
time.
Dr. Neshua for us.
Yes, thank you.
Legislator Castellano representing the National Substance Prevention Month proclamation.
Thank you for being here tonight. Whereas every day too many Americans, including Putnam County residents, are hurt by substance use disorders, the heartache caused, lives cut tragically short, and the consequences of substance abuse are profound. Whereas stopping substance abuse before it starts and prevent the disease and addiction and create stronger neighborhoods across our community. Whereas community-based prevention systems that join stakeholders at every level of government and local organizations can deliver local solutions to this problem. We observe National Substance Abuse Prevention Month. Let us join those vital efforts and reaffirm our vision for America where each of the fullest opportunity to live, health, and happiness are now able to be done. That the Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature do hereby proclaim October 2021 as Substance Abuse Prevention Month. I'd like to present you with this proclamation from the Putnam County Executive and the Putnam County Legislature.
Thank you. I'm Kristen McConnell from the Prevention Council of Putnam. It's nice to see you all. I have a couple things I wanted to say. Far too many families across our nation have been impacted by addiction and the overdose epidemic. In 2020, more than 93,000 people died from an overdose. During National Substance Use Prevention Month, we reaffirm our commitment to helping Putnam's youth overcome this epidemic and lead healthy and fulfilling lives. The COVID-19 pandemic has only exacerbated the need to provide more resources to address substance use disorder. Substance use disorder touches families in every community, and it is essential that we invest in a broad range of services, including prevention, harm reduction, treatment, and recovery support services. I'd like to personally thank the Putnam County Executive, Mary Ellen Odell, and the Putnam County Legislature. Your public acknowledgement and support helps bring awareness to substance use disorder and reduce its associated stigmas. And I should have also introduced my colleague that's with me, Nora Slavinsky from Arms Acres, and my other colleague, Matthew McConnell, who is my son, who always asks, what do you do at these meetings at night? And it can be hard to describe, so I thought what better to do than bring him to a place where, as I explained to him, elected officials that are leaders in our community recognize something as important as this. So thank you so much. It's truly very meaningful to all of us and all the providers that couldn't be here.
And I also echo what Kristen is saying. Thank you for having us tonight. I've been in the field of substance abuse and working at Arms Acres for over 25 years, and I hope to continue to do that to help our community with substance use disorders. And any way I can do that, please let us know, and thank you for this recognition tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do. Thank you.
Moving on to number 4 is approval of minutes from the regular meeting, September 7th, 2021. Moving on to number 5 is county order, correspondence from the county order. There was no activity during this reporting period. Moving on to pre-filed resolutions. I would first like to remind everyone to wait to be recognized by the chair before speaking. I call on Chairwoman Nassarino for the Protective Services Committee.
Thank you, Chairwoman Cantalasa. I'd like to move forward with the approval of budgetary transfer 21A-075. The sheriff has requested this budgetary amendment to utilize state seized asset funds to purchase medical kits containing life-saving equipment for use by the Narcotics Enforcement Unit. This was also addressed in both Protective Services and the Audit Committee in the amount of $2,823.02.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 6D is the approval budgetary amendment 21A-076. The Putnam County Sheriff has requested budgetary amendment to utilize reimbursement received from rental claim services to offset the cost of repairing one sheriff patrol vehicle. This is incoming money in the amount of $6,548.79.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on, please let the record reflect that the following agenda items, 6C through 6I, have been reviewed in the Protective, Personnel, and Audit Committees. 6C is the Putnam County Sheriff has requested fund transfer 21T189 to cover road patrol incurred in the month of March due to being short 11 deputies. 2 on extended leave, 2 on military leave, 1 family medical leave, 1 on 207C, 2 recruits in the academy, and 3 retirements. This is in the amount of $19,163.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. As I go through the next several transfers, I'm not going to repeat the what was just said in regards to the 11 people that were out. It's a little redundant. So moving forward with the item 6D, the sheriff has requested fund transfer 21T190 to cover road patrol costs incurred in April due to the 11 deputies out. 11 deputies, who, as I previously stated, and this is in the amount of $13,324.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6F, Putnam County Sheriff has requested fund transfer 21T193 to cover road overtime costs incurred in May 2022. This is in the amount of $25,405. Oh, did I skip it?
Did you do E?
I'm sorry, it turned over with D. Okay, look. Chairwoman, and
Yes.
these are going to go back. Yes. Agenda item 6E. Putnam County Sheriff has requested fund transfer 21T191 to cover road patrol costs by utilizing jail overtime funds which were placed in sub-contingency during the 2021 process. This is in the amount of $59,208.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you. Moving on to 6F. Putnam County Sheriff has requested fund transfer 21T193 to cover road patrol overtime costs incurred in May 2021 in the amount of $25,405.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 6G. Putnam County Sheriff has requested fund transfer 21T194 to cover road patrol overtime costs incurred in June 2021. That is in the amount of $29,179.
Discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Moving on to item 6H, Putnam County Sheriff has requested fund transfer 21T195 to cover road patrol overtime costs incurred in July 2021 in the amount of $29,179.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Item 6I, Putnam County Sheriff has requested fund transfer 21T196 to cover road patrol overtime costs incurred in August 2021 in the amount of $40,226.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. And moving on to agenda item 6J, the Commissioner of Emergency Services has requested fund transfer 21T211 to purchase an audio log. This has been approved in both protective and the audit administration committees, and it is in the amount of $1,500.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. I now call on Legislator Castellano, who will be standing in for Chairman Sullivan's absence this evening. The Rules, Enactments, and Intergovernmental Relations Committee.
Thank you. On behalf of Chairman Sullivan, who couldn't make it tonight, and Legislators Castellano, Legislator Albano, and myself, I'd like to move forward the following 6Ks, the approval of a budgetary amendment for the Veterans Affairs Program, peer-to-peer program. This is in the amount of $46,250 that came to us from the state, and we want to put it to good use thanks to the good work of Carl Rohde, Art Hanley, Megan Castellano, and a new member of that staff is going to be Jack Duncan, who's going to do fantastic work for the veterans, and I'm glad to see this money coming forward.
Discussion?
I would just like to say that this is such a worthwhile and wonderful program, and I'm happy that this funding came through. This is really very important. Thank you.
Yes, and I'd also like to say that the vet-to-vet outreach and support is outstanding here in Putnam County. The small group counseling, along with wellness workshops, have reached so many people here in Putnam County. And the reason that it's so successful is because the vets are helping other vets. All in favor? Aye.
6L is the approval authorization of an intermunicipal agreement for shared electrical inspection with local municipalities including Carmel, Kent, Patterson, Phillipstown, and Southeast. This is a good opportunity for us to pull resources from other municipalities and do the work of the people and save money in the process.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
6M is the approval of a revocable license for the use agreement allowing White Plains Vet Center to establish an outstation in Putnam County to provide counseling services to our vets. This again is Putnam County doing the right thing for our veterans, and hopefully we can put this to good use.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
6N is a local law to amend code of the County of Putnam, Chapter 190, entitled Plumbing and Mechanical Trades. This was discussed in rules, and we're putting it forward today to be approved.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6O is the approval of plumbing fees, civil penalties schedule pursuant to section 190-7I and 190-7K of the Putnam County Code. This was discussed in rules. We're moving some fees around as offered by the committee that came forward in front of us.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6P is the approval of a local law to amend the Code of Putnam County, Chapter 145, entitled Electricians. Again, discussed in rules earlier this month, or last month, as the board came in front of us to ask for these changes.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6Q, approval of electrical fees, civil penalty schedule pursuant to section 145-7-I and 145-7G of the Putnam County Code. When we're changing some of our fees, as was recommended by the committee that came in front of us in rules.
Discussion? Yes.
I just wanted to make just one point, and just to thank all these boards that serve Putnam County, the electrical trades boards, the plumbing boards. These are all volunteer who come and give us their expertise, people who work in the field. So I just have to thank all the volunteers who help out with all of these boards and committees.
Thank you, I agree. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Call on Chairman Albano from the Physical Services Committee.
Thank you, Chairwoman. On behalf of legislators Castellano, Boone, and myself, I'd like to move 6R, which is the approval of a budgetary amendment 21A-073, Planning Department. This is regards to the Maybrook 2 Phase A project. This project's, we're adding additional monies. And basically, the project is, $2,490,003. 80% of that is federal monies, 10% is state money, and 10% is county money. And this will allow us to complete that phase of the bikeway.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
6S is approval of budgetary amendment 21A-083. This is the planning department regarding park transportation buses. This is monies coming in for $350,000 that will allow us to buy 4 buses, probably a little bit early, and it's coming in from the CARES Act. It's federal aid.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6T is an approval of a fund transfer 21T226, Planning Department. This is for COVID, cleaning of our buses. It's an additional $36,000 so that we can continue to clean our buses to the best extent possible.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6U is approval of highways and facilities use of capital facility reserve to amend 19 CP 08. This is demolition of Blue House, 163 Hill Street, but actually it's in regards to Austin Roadhouse. There was additional asbestos work that had to be done, and so some additional monies were needed to complete those 2 projects.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6V is approval of highways and facilities use of capital facility reserves, 21 CP 04, storm debris. This is in the amount of $230,895. We have locations where we've collected all the debris from the various storms, and it's an extensive amount of debris. And I think this is a fantastic quote to have that debris addressed and removed.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6W is approval of an application for multi-modal project grant through Office of Assembly Kevin Byrne and administered through the New York State Department of Transportation for access to the Empire State Trailway. This is at Route 311 in the town of Patterson and Route 312 in the town of Southeast. I believe this is in the amount of $50,000, and this will give access and some more parking for 2 locations onto the trailway.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Assemblyman Byrne. I know I spoke with him a couple of times about this, and I'm glad this money became available. I think the bike path is just an outstanding improvement to Putnam County, and anything we can do to improve it is fantastic. Obviously, we need areas where we can connect to this bike path and parking as well. So I just want to thank Assemblyman Byrne for this opportunity.
Anyone else?
I would just like to echo Legislator Castellano's sentiments. I would like to thank Assemblyman Byrne as well, because this was something that benefit both the residents of Patterson and Southeast. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd just like to add one more thing. The bike path is an important tourism attraction in Putnam County. I've spoken with people out of state. I've spoken with people in New Jersey. And when they ask where I live, I say Putnam County, and they said, oh, that's where the bike path is. So I think it's important to improve this. I think it's a great tourism attraction in Putnam County, and I think it's well worth it. And thank you to Assemblyman Byrne for bringing the money for this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
6X is part of what we just spoke of. This is approval of the secret intent to serve as lead agency for the Empire State Trail access in the towns of Southeast and Patterson. Again, this is 312, 311. We will be lead agency on those projects.
Discussion? All in favor?
6Y is an approval of the secret negative declaration for the Blueville Road Bridge replacement. Negative deck basically speaks to the fact that there's no negative environmental impact or adverse environmental issues.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
6Z is approval of the secret negative declaration for the Sprout Brook Road Bridge replacement. Same situation.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. 6AA is an approval to adopt Putnam County's proposed disadvantaged business enterprise, known as DBA, program plan in conformance with as required by the U.S. Department of Transportation, U.S. DOT, 49 CFR, Part 26. This is required. The county has put a plan into place as required and would like to implement this and move forward with it.
This allows businesses to participate in federal funding. Any discussion? All in favor?
6BB is approval authorization lease for room 3 of the Putnam County Veterans Residence. Pretty much all the leases, the rents are the same. This one just has a different date, different than the normal. I believe they all end. This one will end on July 31st, 2022. Just the starting date is different, which is September 1, 2021.
Any discussion? All in favor?
6CC is approval authorizing the lease for room 8, Putnam County Veterans Residence. Same thing again, this lease is the same as the others. It will end on July 31st, and this lease will start on October 1, 2021.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll call on Chairwoman Sage for the Health, Social, Educational, and Environmental Committee.
Thank you, Chairwoman. On behalf of legislators Adenizio and Nassarino and myself, I would like to move forward agenda item 6DD, approval for budgetary amendments 21A078 from the Earth Bureau reflecting New York State funding allocations. We received increased 2021 funding from the New York State Office of Children and Family Services in the amount of $13,455, and we're going to be using those in the correct youth administration lines.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
I'll call on Chairman Yonke from the Personnel Committee.
Thank you, Chairwoman Adenizio. On behalf of legislators Nassarino, Sullivan, and myself, I'd like to move forward with item 6EE. It's the approval of a budgetary transfer in the Law Department for a reorganization. They're increasing a part-time paralegal position to a full-time position. That's in the amount of $10,000 with no fiscal impact.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
on Chairman Castellano from the Audit and Administration Committee.
Thank you, Chairwoman. On behalf of legislators Albano and Goulman, I'd like to move forward the following. Item 6FF, the approval of the fund transfer for finance, Tilly Foster Farm and Putnam County Golf Course insurance premium increase in the amount of $6,107. And again, this is a good thing for us in Putnam County. It's showing that both properties are being used well by the public, and I think they're important parts of Putnam County, and I'm happy to move this forward.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Item 6GG is the approval of fund transfer for the Sheriff's Department, jail food in the amount of $5,000, moving it out of sub-contingency into the line. Again, this is to feed the residents of the Putnam County Jail. The amount of $5,000 is the appropriate thing to do, of course. Happy to move it forward.
Any discussion? Legislator Nasarino.
I just want to mention that this is going to be covered for year-end, until year-end.
Anyone else? All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to number 7 is other business. Make a motion to put resolution 125 on the agenda as other business. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call vote?
Legislator Albano.
Yes.
Legislator Castellano.
Yes.
Legislator Goldman.
Yes.
Legislator Yonke.
Yes.
Legislator Montgomery.
Yes.
Legislator Nasarino.
Yes.
Legislator Sage.
Yes.
Legislator Sullivan.
Yes.
Chairwoman Annesi.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So this approval of the standard workday reporting resolution amendment of resolution 125. This is just clarifying some terms that needed to be corrected for some of our elected officials, and this resolution now reflects the relevant changes. Any discussion? I make a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to number 8 is the recognition of public and agenda items. At this time, anyone wishing to speak on agenda items only may come up to the podium, state your name and the town in which you reside. This time is set aside to speak on agenda items only. Seeing there's no one here to speak this evening, we're going to move on to number 9, which is recognition of legislators. Any legislative motion to be recognized? Legislator Castellano.
Sure. Thank you very much. On a personal note, I'd like to wish my wife a happy 25th wedding anniversary today. As we all know, we have to sometimes make some difficult decisions, go to meetings that have to do the work of the people of Putnam County, but I'd like to thank my wife Elizabeth for allowing me to do this. And I'm hoping she'll let me watch the Yankee game tonight also.
We're pushing it.
But it's been 25 wonderful years, and I'm very happy. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'd like to wish Legislator Castellano and his wife a happy anniversary.
Anyone else? Legislator? Go ahead.
Thank you.
Sullivan, yes.
Thanks. I just want to mention to the public that October 18th to the 22nd is National School Bus Safety Week, and it's a great way for parents, students, teachers, motorists, school bus operators, school administrators, and other interested parties to gain focus and address the importance of school bus safety. And this year it's be safe, know the danger zone. So please watch for our kids out there. It's important that they stay safe getting on and off the buses. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Legislator Sage.
Just like to, I know everybody's already aware, but it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's something that's very near and dear to my heart. I fought breast cancer when my children were very small in 2005. There's a lot of people out there that are being diagnosed every day. It's a tough road, but I just think we need to be aware of, get checked, see your doctor. I lost one of my mentors who helped me get through breast cancer. Her name was Andrea Carl. She was a peer counselor at the Support Connection. Her funeral was yesterday. She had a second bout of cancer, so I just wanted to recognize those people who help others get through this terrible disease, and just remind everyone to get out there and get checked. Thank you.
Anyone else? In light of the fact that we approved the budgetary amendment for the peer-to-peer program here in Putnam County, I wanted to speak about our veterans across the nation. They are seeking additional mental health support. In fact, the Veterans Crisis Hotline received 98% more texts and 40% more online chats in August, according to the National Association of Counties. This may be attributed to the 20-year anniversary of 9/11, as well as the withdrawal of U.S. forces from Afghanistan. Community-based veteran suicide prevention is needed now, as well as services to benefit our veterans and their families. Our county's vet-to-vet program is needed now more than ever. I'm proud to support them. Make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.